Hello everyone and welcome back. So right in front of me this is what I painted for our first paint test, but today I am going to do all of the colors from two different kits. So keep on watching if you want to see all the swatches. So today first I'm starting off with the paint by numbers that I've been doing over the last months, which is called Amsterdam and which is from Victoriasmoon. So this is the paint and I'm just using a simple brush and I got a Sharpie to draw some lines. So let's get into it. I will speed up this process, but I'm just making a simple layout with some lines that we can use as our swatching spreadsheet. See if the colors are opaque or transparent and the thickness of the paint and how well they flow onto the paper. So no need to go fancy, and I'm sorry for my terrible handwriting. I'm not too fond of it, but this is our spreadsheet we're working with today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Laura and I make paint by numbers videos. And please hit the subscribe button if you liked today's video. There's way more tips and tricks on my channel, so go and check it out. And let's share the love for doing paint by numbers. The paint that I'm swatching now of this paint by numbers, I've actually finished pretty much already. And in the process, unfortunately, I left pot number 1 open, so that paint has completely dried out. I'm sorry, but that means I can't show you now the color and consistency of number 1. So we're starting off with number 2, which has also been open a little bit, I think. So the consistency might not be very reliable. But we'll continue with the rest of them. Number 2 now looks pretty thick and doesn't flow very well. Then number 3 is very nice consistency and flows on nicely. Well, number 4 is quite thick again, but very opaque. So number 4 you can't see anything through it, but for number 3 you definitely can. Then number 5. I think quite consistency similar to number 4. Quite thick, but great coverage. And I also have to say, so for this paint by numbers, I found that paints, I would say 1 to 6, were the most common on this design. So even though we got 24 colors, I don't think I only used number 24 only once. So definitely the first color was the one with the most areas to fill, or then number 4 and 5 as well. And I think all these paints, so the first row 1 to 6, they're really nice to paint with because I didn't need to apply many layers, except for paint color number 3, which was very transparent. So yeah, so far so good. Then on to the blues, which I think they're definitely less thick and they're nice, more flowy, but also transparent. But number 8 and later number 9, I think they're nicer because they're not transparent and they're really nice. I love my blues. So yeah, I also have to mention I am cutting out the time that I wash my brushes. So I do thoroughly wash them between every color, but it's happening off screen, so it's a bit boring for you guys to watch nothing happening, and the video would have been twice as long. So now we're going to number 10, which is the first light color that we're testing out today. And I actually have to say, normally the very light colors are the ones that are troublesome because they are transparent and you have to give them many layers. But not for these ones. Both number 10 and 11 are not very opaque, and I can't see the lines through it. Can you? Number 12 is really thick again, but then when you use a very small amount, it spreads out a bit better, and could probably, like if I have my brush is still a little bit wet, it flows a bit better. So yeah, definitely maybe flow 8 would work here, but I haven't experimented with that just yet. So I just use the paint that's provided and sometimes a bit of a drop of water. Because these paints are water-based, right? You could use just a little bit of water from your brush and it might flow better, although you might also have a higher chance of transparency, of course. So ready for the next row of 6 colors. And can we just take a moment to appreciate it, how beautiful these pots or paints look in the pots? It's so satisfactory, don't you think? So this black color number 13, I think is really, it's okay, it's nice to paint with. Not much to comment there. And then, oh shit. So my water is getting pretty dirty after all these colors. And definitely going from black straight to white. I can tell I didn't clean my brush properly. Or I tried to, but my water was dirty. So time for a water refill change. Which I've cleaned my brush again and we can try again now. It definitely looks more white instead of grayish. I'm sorry, I should have known better, I guess. But yes, definitely keep the water fresh if you're using white colors. And it even this white, I don't see the lines through it, you guys. It really is opaque, meaning it's not transparent. Yay! So we'll continue with some light colors now. The sun is also gorgeous. And I will skip number 16 for now, so the water doesn't get dirty too quickly again, and I obviously don't want to mess up the colors because I didn't clean my water. That would defy the purpose. Ooh, can you see this, guys? Number 18 is like solid. I don't think I left this pot open, so that's just the way it came. But it's really hard to work with. I press my brush really hard. So that's not a paint that we can use. But I don't think I found this very much trouble in my paint by numbers, because as I said, now that we're getting to the higher numbers, there was very little to paint this number with. And I might have sneakily used number 14 instead of 18 because it's both pretty white, whitish kind of shades. So not much trouble there, I found. So now on to the last 6. So these are the bright colors, used mostly for the flower baskets on top of the bikes. And so yeah, they're really nice and bright. I loved painting them because it really cheered up the painting, but it definitely is very transparent. Was I really surprised? I guess we're expecting the yellows and red, the warmer colors, to be quite difficult with transparency, and these ones are no different, I'm afraid. Good thing the whole painting didn't consist of just these colors. Today's video is actually suggested by you guys, and thank you for that. So you wanted to know how the warmer colors were in this painting, follow up from the last paint test, and also someone commented that they wanted to see how thick the paint was and how well it was like painted onto the canvas. So I think this is a nice way of addressing both questions. And thank you again for the questions. I hope this addresses them, and If not, or if you have any other suggestions or comments on this paint, please let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. Okay, that's it. All the colors done for this paint by numbers design. And we'll let it dry before we determine exactly which are transparent and which one are opaque. But now that we have all the pots open, so these ones are number 1 till 6, which, like I said, I've used the most. And for all of them, there's still paint inside. But I think for number 4, there's the least of it. But still that, it's like I haven't have to scrape the bottom or anything. So no worries of having no paint left over for this kit or for me painting this kit. I guess everyone uses different amounts. And that's a wrap. Let's do the other paint by numbers that I am going to do next and swatch those before I start painting. So this paint by numbers kit I got from Gifts Connect, and I did an unboxing haul a while ago because it's been in my stash, but I wanted to finish the previous paint by numbers. And go out, check out that video if you want to see what the design is that matches these colors. But basically it's like a blue background and some birds. So I'm excited to start. So I'm starting with number 1, which is actually a lighter whitish color. Continue using those similar colors so I don't mess up my water straight away. And yes, I did take some fresh water for this paint by numbers kit. So let's swatch this new kit. We're not off to a great start with the 2 light colors, both very clearly transparent, which I must say I'm not super surprised. I was rather surprised that the Victoriasmoon one was not transparent in these light colors, because they're notorious for being very transparent. I don't know why though, but it's just the way it is. Because this kit has a lot of like lighter colors and then many shades of blue, I'm just doing not by number but rather by the shade of color. So far they've all been transparent, and we're now off to the blues. So this one actually looks opaque, so that's great because I think all the blues are part of the background, so lots of area to cover with these. And in the pot these blues look identical, don't they? But now I can tell it's definitely a darker shade of blue, but it's very thick as well. It doesn't spread very easily, this number 3. And similarly for number 5, very hard to spread, but opaque. So only 1 layer necessary. So onto the next row of paint, and it's again a blue one, which is really nice. I love the light blue, and it's thick, but it's workable, I think, and definitely can't see through. Can't see through, so opaque and perfect for a background color. Wow, 8 flows really nicely. It's really, yep, that's all I can say about it. Super flow and no transparency. Although number 9, same thing. Also really spread nicely. I just didn't take as much paint on my brush. Number 10, we're almost there, guys. Halfway through. Can you see how thick that is in the pot? That could definitely do with some thinner, I think, to help it spread. But well, if you take enough of it, it does go really nice on the paper. And then immediately let's do number 19, which is the last bluish shade. They're also different, but yet the same kind of blue, right? Just a little bit of white added to the blue, and you get all these different colors. But I think that will give a nice result on the canvas. This one again is not transparent, so that's a huge bonus, and flows okay. Could do with some thinner though, some fluorite probably. Maybe I should get some for this paint by numbers, but we'll see how I get along. Right, now continue with number 12, which is a lovely pink, no, orangey thing, which is transparent. And colors 13, 14, and 15, I think are maybe semi-transparent. Definitely you can see the lines through it, but it's not as bright as number 11 or 12, for instance. So I guess semi. I'm making up the rules here as we go. I do love the color palette though. I guess the birds will be this color, so I like it with the blues, and it's definitely my kind of color range that I would like to use. I hope you like them too. So number 16, also still see the lines. Oh yeah, about number 14 and 15, they were quite thick as well. But then once I had less painted, like number 14, you can see at the bottom, it does flow a bit better. So we'll see how we go with that. So there are only 19 colors with this kit. Well, the other kit had 26. So 2 more. This one is gorgeous. Really nice flow and not transparent. Number 17. And the last one, number 18, is a greenish color. Also gorgeous. And semi-transparent. So that's it. Let's leave them to dry, and then we can determine how transparent they are once they have dried up, right? There's always a difference between dried and still wet paint. So these are the results of the paint test of today. On the right is the Victoriasmoons, which you can see is a wide variety of colors and actually very little transparent ones. Number 3, number 18, number 16 slightly, and then the last row is all transparent. Then for the other kit, the lighter colors are definitely a problem, as you can see, number 1, number 4, 5. But the background is like semi-transparent, number 7 a bit more, number 10 not at all, or 3. So, and for the brighter colors, they're all pretty much transparent as well. So definitely it will be a challenge to paint these. But because of the colors, I'm super excited to get started, and I hope you found this video useful. Please hit the thumbs up button, and thank you for watching until the end. Bye!